All right, Shalom. Of course, want to start off by giving all praises and glories unto Yahweh Bashim Shai for the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the gospel of this truth. I want to apologize if you look at my side of my face here. You can see the glare of the sun. There's nothing I can do about it at the moment. But I'm going to entitle this video "Why I Left the Church After I Read the Entire Bible." Okay. For those of you who don't know, ETT Yasha, has been in the truth for 6 years. I grew up in the Catholic Church and the SDA church. I've been in both of them pretty much my whole life, so I know both the doctrines. But now, after I've read the entire Bible, which this is, not like yesterday this happened. This is like, going over years and years, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, after I read the Bible, front cover to back cover, including the Apocrypha in there, which is part of the Bible, by the way, I clearly seen that the one group who truly is, what could be the word I'm looking for? Who truly could be considered to have the truth of the scriptures, as in the true intelligence of what the Bible says, would be the Hebrew Israelites. They call them black Hebrew Israelites, but that's just the play on words, okay? Because we're not black; they're just darker skinned people, okay? Darker shades of brown, so to speak. And people get on them because they try to say, that the white man's Esau, which is true. The white man is Esau. However, not all white people are Edomites, which we all should be aware of, that there are confusion of faith Israelites that are out there. Okay? But there's many topics that we could look at after reading the Bible front cover to back cover, which a lot of people actually have not done so. So I can say I'm one of the very few who have done it. And a lot of these church peoples, maybe there's one or two people in the church who have actually read the Bible front to back. But that's even a long shot, inside joke. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, a few topics we could engage on would be the topic of good and evil. Prior to reading the Bible, we were all taught as children in these, Catholic school and, whatever else we were brought up in, that, Satan, right, the adversary of the Most High, was the one who created evil. Now, this isn't true. Isaiah 45:17, "For I, the Lord, have created light, and I created darkness. I, the Lord, have created all these things." Amos 3:6, "For if there is wickedness in the city, have the Lord not done it?" Just to name a few. Okay? When the Lord was speaking with Moses, he made a statement and said, "Did I not make those who have deformities? Did I not create the good and the evil?" Nearly paraphrasing the scriptures. But you see, you wouldn't know that if you haven't read the entire book. Okay? So, for you guys out there, man, and I'm not speaking to any individual, I'm not speaking to any certain individual here. I'm saying, everyone as in general, that, you guys should read the whole book front cover to back cover, man. Because if you do, you're going to find out that what you previously believed about the scriptures is not entirely true. Okay, and I speak from experience. There's many beliefs that I've previously had about the scriptures in the the Christian church that clearly just is not matching up with what the book actually says if you read it front to back cover. Okay, and again, you have to add the Apocrypha in there to truly understand the scriptures, and that's another thing. The scriptures say, Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 10, "For precept must be upon precept, here a little and there a little," to get the understanding of what the scriptures say. Okay, the church really doesn't read that, read the Bible like that in general. They'll just read certain parts of it, like one verse and, try to explain that one verse. And we all know, we've all been in church services, so we know what they do. I already brought out more scriptures in this 5-minute video here than the Christian church brings out in their 1-hour sermons. And I'm not even being sarcastic. All right. The God versus Satan, the good and the evil, right? That the Most High, or let's deal with this one, the Trinity thing. All right, some churches don't teach the Trinity, some do. A lot of them do, actually. But after you read the Bible, there's many places where Jesus clearly says, say for an example, when the apostles asked him, Lord, what hour will you return? He said, I don't know. So wait a second, if he was God, then how could he not know something if he is fully God? That don't make sense. Or another example, right? How Jesus, which we know his name to be Yahushai, he ascended up to heaven to sit on the right hand of the Father. So the question that needs to be asked is, wait a second, how could he sit on the right hand of the Father if he himself is the Most High, aka the Father? That's not logical. That makes no sense. So he could sit on the side of himself? Come on, that's foolishness. Even what's that brother's name? I can't forget about that simp. What is it? Faithful servants of Christ, right? Faithful servants of Christ. Which, I mean, that brother better step up his game, man. I mean, I haven't seen a sucker that soft since Banicula. But I mean, even he knows that the Trinity is BS, man. Even he knows that. And I mean, that dude's on there talking about there's going to be a locust coming out of hell attacking people. So I mean, that brother don't know much, right? Saying that the Antichrist is going to come out of hell. That damn simp. But anyway, let's see, what else could we say? I can't forget about this one. In fact, I'm shocked I didn't even bring this up yet. John 3:16, the most famous verse. I'd say that's the most famous verse that everybody knows, right? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, and whosoever believeth in him, they shall not perish, but they shall have everlasting life. Now that sounds all sweet, of course. However, if you read the Bible front to back, you'll find out that Christ said himself in Matthew the 15th chapter that I have only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And dealing with the world is Israel, because it tells you in the book of Isaiah 45:17, that Israel shall become an everlasting world, a world without an end. So wait a second. That clearly proves that John 3:16 was referring to Israel and was not referring to the entire world. Okay? First of all, in the book of John, chapter 17 and 9, right? John 17 and verse 9, Jesus said, I pray for those who you have given me out of the world. And who is the you? The you is the Father, which proves that Christ is not the Father. Okay, because why would he be praying to himself? But he said, I pray for those that you have given me out of the world. I pray not for the world. So Christ said he does not pray for the world. Christ did not pray for the world. Wait a second. How could Christ die for the entire world, but yet out of his own mouth in red letter, he said, I do not pray for the world? Isn't that a contradiction? How could he die for the whole world, but then he said out of his own mouth, I pray not for the world? That's an illogical fallacy if you don't know the scriptures. But if you know the scriptures, and the world in the scriptures is Israel, and the Lord doesn't care about, the actual world, as in, the world, the flat plane we live on. Okay? You know that if you actually read the book front to back. And again, not saying this to any individual person out there. It's, directed towards all of us. Okay? Because again, I used to fall victim to it. I used to believe in it. Oh, I can't forget about this. The whole hell belief, right? Hell. We all believe, whether it's, I want to say all denominations of the Christian church teach it there's a place called hell. I could be mistaken, but as far as I know, every denomination teaches it. I used to believe it. However, when I read the book front to back, I seen that when the Bible mentions the word hell, it just means a condition played out on the earth or the grave. A few examples, Jonah chapter 2, verse 2. Jonah cried out of the belly of the fish, but he said he cried out of the belly of hell. But according to the story, he was in the belly of a fish. So that clearly shows that hell in the Bible is a condition and is not a physical place where one goes and suffers. Let's see. Isaiah, I want to say, let me see if I can think of the scripture. Isaiah 9 and 17. The nations that forget Yahweh, they should be turned into hell. So how could a nation, right, say for an example, America, how can America be turned into hell? I thought hell was an actual place underground. I mean, according to faithful servants of Christ, right? Because that's where the locust, inside joke. That's where the locusts are going to come from, according to that simp, right? Damn demon, man. Damn devil demon, right? Let's see. What else could we say? I mean, it's hard to just pick certain topics, man. And for a 15-minute video, we truly could go on for a couple hours, man. Oh, reincarnation. After reading the Bible, I see there are many places where there is reincarnation. In it. Say, for an example, John the Revelator, in Revelation, the 10th chapter, he's told that he has to speak before many nations, kings, and tongues once again. But wait a second, I thought John died on the island of Patmos. So how could he have came back and done those things? Or in other words, how could he have done those things unless he came back to life in another generation? I believe it was Job. I'm not sure the verse. But Job said, though I shall die in the flesh, yet with my own eyes shall I see the return of the Lord. I believe it's in the 25th chapter of Job. I could be mistaken. Let's see. Oh, right, John the Baptist. Right, John the Baptist was Elijah. Right? And he was Elijah back in reincarnation. Just to name a few. Okay, there's other accounts of reincarnation in the scriptures. All right, but that's, an entire different lesson in itself. Okay, pretty much it's, at this point, the point is already proven. Okay, that the Christian church does not know the Bible. It's that simple. Let's give another example. Most don't know this, but if you read the book of Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, it condemns putting a Christmas tree up in one's household. All right, it's a belief in the custom of the other heathen nations. Okay, but the church doesn't know that, though, because they have the Christmas tree up in the church, so they don't know that. All right, and again, we could go on for a couple hours on it, but we're just going to keep it plain and simple to understand. Okay, it's not complex. Should be very simple to understand. But anyway, if that being said, I'm going to say shalom.